What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank, and I want to give all of you guys a freebie. All right, a freebie. I'm gonna show you my solution skills, right? Because a lot of the people who are so-called thought leaders, they do complain about certain things, right? But they don't offer anything in return. Like, okay, after the complaint, then what? Right? Because we're supposed to continue, right? We're supposed to keep going, not just be stuck at complaint. At some point, we got to do something about it. So we got to come up with tangibles, come up with ideas, right, that will benefit everybody, right? Because if you're a thought leader and people are supposed to respect you and you're talking to the masses, right, it's quasi starts to become your responsibility to guide them also in the right way, not just blocking them from false or misinformation or disinformation, but also guiding them forward and give them ideas, in front of them, not in a paywall, not for the purpose of just making money, even though making money is ideal, but somebody gotta be willing to give something up, right, for the initial investment and wait for the long-term investment, right? But what do we complain about, right? We complain about other people using our culture to make money, right? All of us. I don't care. Right now, we in timeout. All right, FBA, ADOS, pretendians who Hebrew Israelites, Muslims, Christians, every type of faction that we got, right? We all in timeout right now because I got this great idea, right? Now, what do we know to be a fact? All of us, all right? We know that everybody copies us around the world, right? We know that. We know anything that we do, everybody else is going to do. We know that, right? And we know that even if someone else does it too, right, when they do copy, ours are the only ones, right, that counts as authentic, and they look to vouch by getting our acceptance, right? Once we co-sign it, once they're in, that's when they start to make money. To the point to where, in order for anybody to be a global success, they have to come to America, right? Listen, let's pay attention. If you want to be keep in mind, America's only 5% of the world population. We're talking numbers, right? 5% of the world's population. Out of that 5% of the world's population, all that means the entire planet has their own economies attached to their own population numbers. That means there's 95% times more people on this planet, right, than us. But yet we have all the influence, right, via how history turned out. And in America, right, when you think of America, when you ask any foreigner, listen to me. When you ask any foreigner about America, I want y'all in your heads collectively to think who you think they're going to talk about. Think about it. When any foreigners asked about America, from their perspective, no matter what country they're on, who do you think they are going to talk about? When they ask them about American culture, right? What is American culture? Ask a foreigner what American culture is. Who do you think they're going to talk about? No matter where they are on the planet, with the various different experiences throughout history and in their own culture, never been to America, taught in their schools from their perspective. Who do you think they're going to talk about when they talk about America? When you ask them about the culture, when you ask about what is the culture of America, right? So you take that. Now, they say that we're only 15% at the high end, but 13% at the conservative end. They say that's the population that we are as African Americans, Africans descended from the transatlantic slave trade, Africans, right? They say we 15% of America's population, right? So with that small group, our ethnic group, that's our ethnic group, right? Whatever you call it, that is, in fact, that is us, right? Like it or not, that's us. They say, like I said, 15 to 13%. How is it that we generate $1.something trillion? Why do we have that much purchasing power? Is it all just hyped up because we have a whole bunch of professional sports players? If we add up how many professional sports players that they are making $1 million, right? And then we see where their money get directed to, right? Because who they end up marrying. So is that money really staying in the black community? So if our personal GDP, and our personal spending power is so high, it can't be the superstars, the basketball players and the baseball players, so it must be the regular business class, right? It's our accomplishments as African Americans is where we are after, coming out of the mud, being less than mud. That's where we at, right? That's the real danger, apparently, that economy. So when we boycott Target, just a measly 13%, and out of that 13%, maybe 92%, 92% or 89% decided they were going to boycott, right? So out of that 15% that the corporations are taking, they still gonna, they're still gonna have people that's gonna go shop there anyway, right? You're still gonna have a nice little 8%, probably a 10% at the highest. If it is a sale that some of them still gonna sneak in there, hoping nobody recognize them when they in there, but they in there too, right? Like we know, right? And some of them work there, and we support them because we know we got some of us that have jobs there, and it's part of their economies. But how does that hurt them so bad that they have to come pander back? They have to pander. What does that mean? Right? Just us measly. What about the rest? You telling me they didn't get no support from the rest of the population who always shows that they're not on our side? Right? Why didn't they get a boost? Because they finally took a stand against DEI. That should have gave them a boost, making up for that 80% or 13%, right? It shouldn't have been a problem. They should have been able to take that hit. It should have been a part of the corporate loss, right? Strategic loss for the long-term gain, right? That makes sense. They're trying to make money. The whole reason is to detach us from economic progress, right? So what better way to do that, what better way to do that than just continue to own all the intellectuals, right? Take all the money from our culture, right? What better way to do that? And it keeps us down at the same time, right? Because where are the, rappers who made all that art and made trillions of dollars worth of revenue for the music industry? Why are they broke? Because despite how much money they made, the economies that they, was not attached to the black economy. It wasn't attached to anything that was going to make them more money. The money just stopped, and they don't even own. Most of them don't, make as much as you think. Right? Actors are broke. Why are actors broke when they made trillions of dollars worth of movies for us to watch? How is it they didn't get the lion's share of the profit? Right? Why are they struggling right now? It doesn't make them sense. They're the star. They're the reason why we went to go see the movie. Right? So you got to think. You got to create your own economy. Right? And even if you can't afford the foundation to use, like we don't own any of these networks, right? We have to use their networks until somebody creates a network of their own that can compete with Google. But most of the world can't compete with Google, can't compete with Microsoft, can't compete with Facebook. That's an anomaly, right? So that's the thing. So we're going to have to use these platforms. But how do we monetize these platforms for our benefit as best as we can, create an economy that we can at least control on some aspects, right? We know that everybody likes to dig in our culture, especially African Americans, right? And Caribbeans, right? We are always on display. we have aspects of our culture that we can monetize. That we all know, that we all enjoy. See, as African Americans, right? We participate in an Afro-cultural consistent practice of finding other ways to deal with conflict. We know how to find ways to deal with conflict. Before we all know that. We've all got ways to deal, with beefing. And we've all come up with alternative ways to stop it. And that's consistent in Africa, as they had ways to stop wars and battles from happening without killing each other. Like in some Europeans, they fantasize about having their two leaders get in the middle of the battlefield and just do a one-on-one so that the warriors won't have to fight. Like, as advanced as that was for them, we went far beyond that. We had ways that we respected, right? That stopped battles so people can go home, right? And that added to their economies because they didn't lose any men. Men was their economies. Who's going to go hunt? Who's going to go build things? Who's going to be the architects? Who's going to do all these things that needed to generate products for the village, to build the economy, right? So I think that we can use stuff like YouTube and social media to build our economies using our own idea, right? And by doing that, on the outside, we can control how it's produced, how it's edited. We can make money on the editing side. So here's my idea. I'm giving it to you for free, and I guarantee you it's going to work. I can see it, right? Because it's worked before in other aspects. What's one of the biggest ways African Americans can resolve conflict? What's one of the arenas that we get together to battle our op, whether it be in our family, neighbors, usually friends though, right? But it's a way that we talk the most shit because African Americans love to talk shit, right? We love talking shit. That's why I don't understand why certain elements of our African American community are so upset about what somebody else got to say about us, even if it's coming maliciously or as a joke. I don't understand the sensitivity because African Americans are the masters of shit talking and taking shit. We can take it, we can deliver it. So I don't understand the why so sensitive to it, because it should roll off our backs. Everybody knows we talk the most trash. We have a culture of that. When Africans get exposed to that, if they don't have a culture of that, then how are they going to react to that? They think you're serious, right? So they'll call you something. They gotta come up with something, right? And then now you mad, right? But anyway, spades, bro, spades. Why are we not like podcasters? Y'all should be having spades competitions to settle beefs. Think about it. We love spades. Everybody know how to play spades, and if you don't, you should be ashamed of yourself. You can't be black in America without playing spades. Everybody knows that spades is the game for black African Americans. We love that game. We could talk all this shit we want, and that will filter some people, right? We can settle all kind of beefs with spades, and who will watch that? Everybody, because you will get this highlight a part of African American culture, right? That they rarely get to see. To see this, you got to be at the cookout. These people don't know nothing about the spades, right? Or some of them white Southerners know about spades, right? Or the competitors, but most of them, they like to play poker, 3-hand draw. That's their shit. The spades is our shit. Imagine spades competitions, right? It gives your editors, right? All you black editors out there, it gives you an opportunity to see how good you are with your editing skills. How can you sell that? What angles can you get? What camera setup do you got to get the ultimate angles? Editors, what kind of clips and gifts can you put in there to entertain us while we watching spades? Spades players. If you talk shit online, you got to know how to play spades. No way you don't. There's absolutely no way if you talk any amount of shit online, you don't know how to play spades. That's impossible. And you can learn that shit real quick. You better, come on now. Y'all know, as black people in America, shit. Right? So, you create leagues, uniforms, jerseys, everything. Everybody click up. Settle your differences in spades. Giving people opportunities, these podcasters, to do something different. All right? Because people don't get tired. These podcasters, look, Now y'all just sitting around tables and shit talking about, we all talking about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's going to get a little saturated. We got to come up with some ideas, right? So imagine, instead of sitting there beefing about, you know, this and that, we can come together in person, the ones who like to do the podcast, do spades competitions, and build an economy around it. And then only accept our leagues, meaning it's for our shit. Because y'all know what happens. What's going to happen if you do it, right? Everybody else going to do it, right? But we can't help that. But all we have to do is support each other. Support each other's leagues, right? Support each other's economies that we can build around it. You talking about, think about how much money you can make, right? If you go on live, y'all got your own league. Instead of all this boxing and hitting each other and shit, instead of all this letting people monetize gang culture with physical violence, instead of letting people monetize our traumas in our communities, and then because we want to make money, we let them monetize and we participate in it, right? And then perpetuate it and then teach our children how to do it. You know, that part of our culture that we shouldn't be promoting, we promote anyway. Instead of letting people exploit us, right? Why don't we take something positive about our community that still allows us to talk shit, be us, right? All the comedians, all the goddamn beefers for whatever reason, the blurbs, the blurb leagues. You can have black nerds out here playing little leagues right here and incorporating, you know, the anime in it, incorporating the you know, the culture of whatever kind of dweebdom department they're in, tech in it, right? Imagine the economy we can build around that, because they see us having a ball, talking trash, right? And think about the sponsorships. They would jump all over it, especially the gamblers. They're going to want to get action, but then you got to hold your economy and don't sell out. You got to be your shit. See, if we start something like this, you make your own leagues, you do your LLCs, right? And the only people you paying is YouTube. You do it smart, dog. They're going to tune in. And then for the Caribbeans, Dominoes, Afro Latinos, Dominoes. You got to jump on it first. Same rules apply. And then we all, some of us who play spades, we also play dominoes, right? And some of us who play dominoes, we also play what's the other game? I forgot. Anyway, y'all know what I'm saying, right? Dominoes, spades, phase 5, we throw that in there. Phase 5, tonk, right? The card games we play as a community, right? We can make our own Monopoly games, right? With our own pieces that belong to us, our leagues, right? That remind us of who we are, with our cultural figures representing the pieces. Teaching up, hey, if you know how to play Monopoly, you teach people how to play Monopoly, maybe make a deal with Monopoly. Monopoly's going to want to, they're going to want to get involved. If you can get some sort of licensing deal, that's money. That's building an economy around something that we do culturally when we get together. When we finally get together, either what? Somebody die or somebody get married, right? Or somebody finally gets together and throws a goddamn freaking goddamn cookout or something other than a death or a goddamn birthday party, a family reunion, right? There's always take somebody auntie the dad go and do the family reunion because you want to see everybody, because everybody want everybody living their lives and they forget everybody else exists, because we know that's how the Western world works. It takes away our ability to be community, right? But when we get together, somebody got the goddamn cards and we gonna play some damn cards, right? Somebody gonna play some dominoes, right? Somebody gonna play Uno. Oh my God. Do you know how much money you can probably branding deals you can get with Uno? If y'all can get a deal, if your league is entertaining, right? If you're doing a podcast, switch to something like that, right? All the games that we play as black people. And you build your own brands and build your own leagues, make your own money. Think about the other economies that will go with it. And we can have fun. And everybody's going to jump on it because we're doing it. But it won't count unless they get vouched by us. We only care about our stuff. We don't just the same way they do us in their things. We just give them the same energy. That's all we got to do. Give them the same energy. Right? Imagine what we can make while all the jobs going away. while we all sitting at home, right? While we see what's coming, I mean, you paying attention, you see what's coming. Why not build an economy around that? And it gives opportunities to people with sponsorships and how entertaining you can make the show. We talking million. This is a multi-million-dollar idea, billion-dollar idea. I'm telling you, if we do it right. Only thing I want is credit. Y'all heard it from me. That I'm telling you, somebody, whoever got I could just do this shit myself, right? I would have to put effort into it. I could do it myself, but I'm giving this for free. I'm telling you, it will work. And there's space for everybody. It just a matter, hey, some gonna fail, some not. It all depends on the personalities that you can get playing space. And we gotta have some rules, right? Ain't no fighting, right? That shit, shun your shit get done. You fighting on there, if you can't hold your own, this is supposed to teach people how to conflict resolute while talking trash, how to take trash, right? How to do something other than violence to settle, make some money, build an economy. Secondary, third industries they're gonna build around it. Dominoes spread throughout the diaspora. Everybody can get involved. We all got games. Any game you got, man, we could just have a game Olympics and shit and build it around ourselves. That we could take that, own that. Everybody's gonna want to be part of that. They're all gonna copy it. Think about it. We the people that when we got off TikTok, right, because of the Trump thing, crashed the whole app. Think about it. We're the people, if we're not on it, it doesn't work. Remember, we are, as Americans, we are 5% of the world's population. And within that 5%, we're supposedly only 15 to 13% of that population. Yet we still got that much influence, that much TV, movie representation, right? That much political power to the point to where they'll kill us to not vote. Huh? That much political power that if they dare see one of us coming, they'll put a Donald Trump in office first. Because that's better. Think about it. We can do it. So this is for free. Here you go. Just give me my credit. That's all I wanted. That's all I want. Say that dude, that Afro Think Tank over there. He came up with an idea. Shit, I tried it. I mean, what's the investment? Some cards. You already got a camera. A table where you can sponsor yourself and all your businesses, our African-American businesses, right? So we can spread our African-American businesses that don't get no advertisement from these people. We can create our own advertisement around it. Huh? Spreading their names on the table. Forget, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Forget that. We can put Mama's Hot Sauce and Uncle Jeffrey's Reds on there. Think about that. And control it consciously. Consciously control that industry, right? And we can make some millionaires. We can make some money right now. First person to jump on it. I'm gonna be watching. Let me see if you might do it. If y'all listen, I can lead you to water, right? Put a paywall up until you can't take a drink. Until you give me $19.99 a month for my course, right? Or I can just drop it to you for free and see if you're gonna do something with it. And if I drop this to you for free, if you see the genius in it, just do it. Be the first one, right? Just give me my credit. That's all I want. Anyway, y'all can take it. I just led y'all to water. I'm telling you, it's fresh. You don't even gotta boil it. You ain't even gotta boil it. You ain't even gotta boil it. All you need is some cards and a phone and some good ideas. And see what's gonna happen. Right? Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. All right? Tell me what you think in the comment section. I want to know. All right? Piggy bank off me, because I know there's other games we play. We could take back Jenga. That belongs to us. Imagine the Jenga leagues. Imagine the sponsorships, the safe sponsorships. You could advertise everybody. They're going to have to. All of them. Toilet paper. Huh? You better put a damn domino on that bitch. I'm telling you. Somebody's face is going to be like that. We could do that. So go ahead. And then remember, we invalid anybody who we will not spread our economy to others who copy us. They're going to have to do it on their own. They're going to have to do it on their own. We hold it tight. They're going to have to do it on their own. That's it. We got to hold tight to our shit. When we do this, I'm telling you, let's be millionaires, be made. Millionaires. Anyway, y'all tell me what you think in the comment sections. Afro Think Tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
DJ, Afro Think Tank, reminding all Africans to get on beat.
hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.